So once you find the kind of strange chaos ensuing on Piedmont Avenue, what turn of events, what circumstances or situations led you on? And also, I was wondering if you were kind of specific, could help us with specific dates.
Okay. I will dig up the dates when they come to me.
Okay.
From that point on, I saw well, during the extraction, I guess, things were becoming, I was soaking in the whole environment, all the different people, all the different stances, and the general bizarre nature of the situation. With the three barricades, the two fences and the one next to the sidewalk, and the police manning it 24/7 at night with lights and everything, and all the people that were opposed, mainly the university, I guess, all the people that were opposed to the tree sitters, I should say, mainly the university and those people, and then there were the protesters, and then there were a lot of people that were just there to observe, and they were just watching. They may not really be leaning either way, and I was at that time just taking the whole situation in, all the people, and I was attracted to the people that seemed to be living alternative lifestyles. And the biggest example was the people that were living in the trees. There were like around a dozen of them when I arrived, and then 3 or 4 days later after the extraction, how many were left? Not sure exactly, but that must have been, it was something like June 14th or something, 17th when I arrived. It was that Sunday, and then like a week later after extraction was done, it would have been June 20th. And so I celebrated the first day of summer, which is also my birthday, my 24th birthday, up here on June 21st, and my class started soon after that, and so my attention was split between the two places, and I quickly realized that my interests lay much more with the protests and the people surrounding it than my electrical engineering class.
You were pretty much a regular for a long time, it seemed.
Yeah, I was. At first, I was living with a friend, and then 6 weeks in, I'd say the end of July, I moved out of the house, and I was a 24/7 supporter up on Piedmont from the end of July, so probably just about the month of August I was living up there for probably about a month, just supporting in my small capacity. I caught the tail end of this protest, this 21, 22-month-old protest, so I think there were a lot of people like me, maybe not necessarily students, but a lot of people that were coming to Berkeley for a short while and felt like giving their support and helping out, because we identified with the people that are seeking something beyond a popular existence. By that I mean like the popular culture that the popular culture of America. I was looking for something, an alternative to that, and I saw many people with many alternatives at the protest. And so I was drawn there, and I met so many people, and I learned so much from them. I learned about people and what's important to them, and what's important to... Yeah, that was the main thing. I met so many interesting people, such a variety of people, and I wanted to understand them and what was important to them, because I felt like I kind of grasped the main path that is available to people in this American culture. But I had never been exposed firsthand to all the alternative ways of being. There was never really that kind of opportunity. It wasn't there for me down in Orange County, which is mostly suburbia. And so for the next month I was there supporting the protest and learning from people and observing, seeing how the authorities dealt with the situation, and yeah, I was just there, and I was glad to be there.
Different people in the tree sit and the tree sit support during the protest were actively participating and helping and using their time in various different ways to help and lend, give support, whatever ways they possibly can, that sort of thing. You did kind of mention briefly that you kind of felt like maybe you couldn't give very much, or that you were giving as much as you possibly could. And I found that there's, maybe sometimes, some days are better than others. Some days you could bring home, sometimes you can bring a gallon of milk to the protest, sometimes you can bring the cow. Can you maybe shed some light on some of the things you were involved with?
Yeah, I feel it was a real... My capacity changed throughout my time there. So, at first I would just come by and study there a little bit. And when I eventually moved there, I was and still am changing. So at first, I would say I did very little. Like on the days of extraction, I was just kind of, I was pointing out things that maybe no one else had seen yet, like maybe another tree that had been invaded or something.
Who do you shout these things out to when this is happening at the protest?
When I just got there, I didn't know who was really taking care of the protest, who were the main people involved. But I became aware that there were certain main people that had the means of communication and knew what to do. So I would tell these people, things. And then eventually there would be daily tasks. There's always things to move around and stuff. Like recycling and things to clean up, and so I would help clean up the food table sometimes and take out the trash. And then occasionally we would be doing art projects, doing signs. I painted a nice little sign for the radio station. And when the radio station was set up, a lot of us helped by riding the bike, which generated the power for the laptop to relay the signal to the radio station. So there was that. And a lot of my time was spent just watching everyone else and seeing how they lived and observing the attitude and what they were doing. And so as I guess as August progressed and I had been living there, I was helping out more and more and more, and I would be given the phone, the camp phone, to hold on to while other people took a break from the scene. And on feeding days, I guess that would have been every day. Once there was an agreement struck with the police that the tree sitters would be fed every day. Some of those days I would help carry up the food and watch the police go through the food. And so I would do that sometimes, and a lot of the time, or more and more, I would have a video camera in hand. And at night we would stay up and make sure that the cops didn't do anything covertly to the tree sitters. We always tried to have an eye out for the tree sitters, and just keep an eye on the camp and some of the more important things there. And so yeah, that's what I found myself doing. And it was mostly anyone that helped. It was very informal. There was not much of a hierarchy, so to speak. It was just the way things got done was if a person felt like doing something, they did it. Mostly you weren't asked to do things, like someone else didn't tell you to do something. Either you did it or that person did it. Or unless if some people knew each other really well, then they would work together on things and tell them to do things. But for the most part, it was whatever people felt to do, I took care of it. And it was an interesting kind of power structure, in that it wasn't very structured. It was very flat. And so that's kind of where all the travelers and all the students and all the protesters kind of fit in somehow. They fit into that kind of flat structure somehow.
Okay. I'm going to turn it off for a second.